Okay. Vita. I'm gonna show y'all boys where I'm from.
What's the deal, baby? You already know it is the big boss house, boss dog cake, poke through the dope. Hit the top of this boxing. What's good with you? It's a beautiful Sunday, man. Thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for allowing me to see this day. It's Victory Sunday as well. Not only because it's the Lord's Day, you know, it's a day of, you know, us going to church, and, you know, I didn't get to go to church today. But I did have my one-on-one time with the Lord this morning. You know what I mean? So, always important. But the Texans won yesterday. They in them playoffs. You know what I'm saying? We back in it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the Texans got a tough order though. You know, because if the Jaguars lose, then you know the Texans win their division and they get to host a playoff game against the Browns, who beat us, you know, pretty handily. But you know, if the Jaguars win, then we got to go to Kansas City. So it's a tough pill to swallow, man. We'll see. We'll see how the cookie crumbles. But how y'all doing? You know, remember, tough times don't last, but good people do. I want to talk about that boy Ryan Garcia real quick. This not going to be a long video. Ryan Garcia, the pull-out king. That boy be pulling out, man. He the pull-out king. Pulled out negotiations with Devin Haney. Let's discuss it. So Ryan Garcia posted on his Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, stated that, hey, you know, basically, I'm not fighting Devin Haney. I'm gonna go fight Rolling Romero, right? In which Devin Haney responded and said, "Don't ever say my name again, it's your boy." Ryan Garcia responded again, and said, "Hey, go sell your 30,000 pay-per-view buys." You know, a little back and forth. Now, I'm gonna answer this question two ways, right? Right. The question I have, you know, first of all, is Ryan Garcia wrong for pulling out negotiations with Devin Haney? So I got two answers for this, right? The man in me is like, yeah, he wrong, right? Because as a man, you got to stand on your 10. If you say, hey, you're going to do something, you got to do it. If it comes out of your mouth, like, that's the type of person I am. If it comes out of my mouth and I say I'm going to do it, I try to do it. You know what I'm saying? If I don't, you're going to hear me take ownership of it and be like, hey, man, I didn't do what I said I was going to do. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me as a man, right? That's just my code of conduct, my moral ethics and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, if I tell you, hey, this is what I'm finna do, I'm doing it, right? And if Ryan Garcia said he ain't fighting Rolly, he gonna fight Devin, and then you start negotiating with Devin, you got to go through with it. That's just my take on it, right? The boxing business side of me is like, I understand why he did it. And hear me out. Okay? He's one fight removed from his knockout loss against Devontae Tank Davis, right? That's one reason. Okay? And I'm just pointing out facts. Okay? He's one fight removed. He just got with Derrick James, right? Ryan didn't really look spectacular in his last fight either. Although he got the knockout, he didn't really look spectacular. There were things he needed to work on, right? And I feel like him fighting Rolly can, you know, who's not an easy opponent. It's a tougher opponent, right? He hitting hard, he cracking. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those fights where somebody get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. It's gonna be Ryan, it's gonna be Rolly. That's just what it is. But it's a more entertaining fight, I would say, than Devin versus Ryan, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? That's just what it is, okay? Now, also, Rolly has a belt, right? So if Ryan Garcia is able to get that belt from Rolly, he could come to the table with Devin with leverage. You get what I mean? Because I guarantee you Devin Haney going to say, I'm the A-side. Although Ryan Garcia is doing more pay-per-view buys and, you know, did a very good, you know, pay-per-view with Devontae Tank Davis, Devin Haney going to say, I'm the champion. You know? So you got to, you know, you got to bow down to me. You know what I'm saying? And I think Ryan wants to come to the table more with a 50-50 approach than a, hey, you know, where we get 50-50, but I decide everything. It's like, nah, bro. Like, we got to, you know what I'm saying? That's what I think. And I think it's a bigger fight and it's more stakes. If Ryan got a belt, Devin got a belt. You get what I mean? Now, granted, in my opinion, I feel like the more entertaining fight is Rolly versus Ryan. It's going to be fireworks. You know what I mean? I feel like the Devin fight could potentially be boring. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. I feel like potentially it could be one of those fights where it's very tactical and nobody's really taking any risks. Whereas I feel like Rolly versus Ryan will be more action-packed, if that makes sense, right? And this is my opinion, right? Now, do I feel like Floyd Mayweather had something to do with it? I would say Floyd probably gave Ryan an idea, right? And said, look, if you fight Rolly, you get this, and then you come to the table with this, right? Like I said, I'm understanding the business, and Floyd Mayweather is a businessman, right? Very smart businessman. So I think Floyd maybe put the idea in the atmosphere. He didn't tell Ryan, hey, go do this. I think he put the idea in Ryan's head, and Ryan made the decision, right? Because Ryan could have said, nah, man, I'm still going to go ahead and fight Devin. But I think Floyd was like, look, you always want to have leverage. And that's where Floyd was smart at, right? Once he, you know, got to where he got to, once he beat Oscar De La Hoya, it was always, okay, leverage got to be in my favor. You get what I mean? And like I said, I understand the business side. It's smart. I'm not going to lie to you. It's very smart. But the man in me is like, man, dang all that, man. You got to stand on your 10. You know what I'm saying? And that may be the downside. That's not always a good thing, because look at Errol Spence. Errol Spence gave up his A side against Terrence Crawford, right? And look what happened to him. You get what I mean? So it's just like, you gotta, if you got leverage, you gotta use your leverage, if that makes sense. And I feel like Ryan Garcia, one side of me is like, he shouldn't have pulled out with Devin Haney. You know what I mean? The other side of me is like, I understand. I see why. You know what I mean? And it makes perfect sense. It's not like I'm saying it don't make sense. It makes perfect sense. You know what I'm saying? I would say the other side that's saying you need to fight Devin Haney is more ego. And a lot of the time, our egos as men, that's our downfall. You get what I mean? So, it's a smart business deal. It's a tough fight. I feel like it's a more action-packed fight. I feel like it probably do better numbers than Ryan versus Devin. I'm not even going to lie to you. You know? That's what I believe. Now, this kind of puts Devin Haney in a tough spot, because Devin Haney is trying to become the face of boxing. You know what I mean? And like I said, his dad has done a phenomenal job marketing Devin Haney. I'm not even going to hold you. He's done a phenomenal job sitting there marketing Devin Haney. But it's just like, it's another blow, right? So now Devin Haney, he got to see who his next opponent going to be. You know what I'm saying? So he got to look to see if he can get that Keith Thurman fight at 147, or, you know, maybe unify, fight that boy Matias. That's a good fight. You know, Bill, if you hearing this, hey, Matias, I'm telling you, that's another good fight. Styles make fights. You got Matias, you know, his style. You got Devin, got his style. Matias got that IBF belt. You can unify. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's a fight I want to see. Me personally, that's a fight I want to see. I want to see Matias versus Devin Haney. I wasn't really too fond of Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney. I mean, Ryan Garcia a name, but I mean, let's just keep it 1,000. Like, the only top thing he's done in boxing is fight Tank Davis. That's it. Other than that, he ain't really fought no names like that. So, but like I said before, I understand the business deal. I get it. I register with it. I understand why he made the move I get it. You know what I mean? I think that it's a good business deal. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I think it's smart. You know, but the man in me is like, I would have fought Devin. If I sit here and say I'm finna fight somebody, that's who I'm fighting. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna fight Devin, and then be like, man, nah, Devin, I ain't fighting you no more. I'm gonna go fight Rolly. And this is the thing. I made a video and said that Ryan should fight Rolly. Right? Y'all remember, I made that video and said, man, Ryan need to fight Rolly, bro. That's what I said. And then he, at the time, was talking to Rolly and Devin and told Rolly, hey, y'all took too long. Sorry, Rolly, y'all took too long. I'm on to the next. I'm going to fight Devin Haney. Then he get to go to Devin Haney. And then, sorry, Devin, I'm going to go back to Rolly. This stuff I be talking about with Ryan Garcia. It's hard to get behind him, bro. It's hard. I try. You know what I'm saying? He's a Christian, so, like, I rock with him from that standpoint, but it's like everything else, I'm like, man, I don't know, bro. I don't know. But it is what it is, man. I done said what I done said, I done did what I done did. You know. Don't forget to like, comment, hate, and subscribe. We ain't running from no smoke. Boss gone.